Welcome to Game Changer World. John, how are you doing this Tuesday evening?
I'm doing fantastic. More importantly, Tony Deppen, how are you doing tonight, sir?
A little late on the East Coast. We're at 11 o'clock right now, but good thing I don't really sleep to begin with.
Well, we appreciate you for coming in here, man. Your announcement of slowing down to retirement of wrestling, I think, was very big, and we felt it was necessary to reach out to you and talk to you about that. Since you are a day one GCW guy, it kind of made sense that you're the first interview that we had at GCW's Game Changer World. So thank you for being with us.
Yeah, only took me announced my retirement to get on the podcast. Yeah.
Hey, it was a good time. You deserve your spotlight, and felt like it was a good time to do it. Oh, there we go, Frankie. Hats off for Tony. Yep. We're going to have a bunch of people jumping in on this one. Reed, Juggalo, Frankie, Ty, ZM, welcome to all of you. I think we're going to have people coming over from Effie's side also tonight. So let's give Tony his intro. Sit back and relax for a minute, Tony. I'm just going to give everyone just a little, I don't know, kind of catch them up on everything you've done. And I wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So, listeners, we have a very special guest with us this evening, Mr. Tony Deppen, aka the Gatekeeper. Hailing from Hershey, Pennsylvania, he's 37 years old with roughly 20 years in-ring experience, trained at the PCWA Wrestling School. That's under Aaron Arbo and Andy Harner. I'll share Tony's record independent numbers, we'll say, but not his backyard numbers. Basically, most of his real numbers will be much higher, but Tony has a decade of unrecorded work here. But I will go with what we know on the independent side. He's wrestled almost 500 matches. The most matches he's wrestled in 1 year was 97 in 2019. Overall, he averages about 51 matches a year. The most matches Tony worked for GCW in 1 year was 33 in 2021. That number does not include any JCW appearances. The top three companies Tony's made the most appearances for: GCW 163 times. The second company was True 30 times. And the third was Ring of Honor 26 times. However, he's been featured in other notable promotions like AEW, MLW, Chikara, Beyond, CZW, ICW No Holds Barred, and international promotions such as Rev Pro, TNT, DDT, and Progress, among others. He is a six-time champion, averaging 247 days per major title reign. Here's a short list of some of his more notable runs. We have the True Champion, 301 days, GCW Extreme Champion, 315 days, and his longest title reign, the OPW Heavyweight Championship, 351 days. Some notable stables and tag teams from 2018 to 2020 at Chikara and other independents. We had Fist with Icarus and Travis Huckabee. And from 2021 to 2022 at NJPW and ROH, we had Violence Unlimited with Homicide, Chris Dickinson, and Brody King. Tony's participated in 23 tournaments in his career and made it to the semifinals or finals 15 times, winning 3. He debuted on the PWI 500 in 2020 at number 266 and has ranked every year since. His highest ever ranking was number 64 in 2021, and that same year he was ranked the number 3 Indie Wrestler of the Year. Deppen began in the backyard around 2005, but transitioned over time to pro wrestling prominence. His engaging presence makes him a standout figure. He's cocky, has an always ready to fight attitude. Getting under the skins of fans seems to be his forte, no matter how much everyone wants to love him. But the most important piece of information at the forefront tonight is that Tony is a GCW OG. He's been with them since the ground level. His first match at GCW was at a Date with Destiny on August 21st, 2016 in Howe, New Jersey at Game Changer World. Being a day one member, many have grown up with him and watched him grow live on TV. Tony's contributions over the years to GCW's growth has cemented his role as one of the pillars of the promotion and irreplaceable, in the eyes of fans. And that right there is what makes Tony Deppen a true game changer. So listeners and fans, I'd like to welcome to our show, Mr. Tony Deppen. How you doing tonight, Tony?
I'm doing well. Just give a bullet point there. First backyard was 2005, but my first professional independent wrestling match was 2008. So, like, a lot of the stuff I was on, Cage Match was never really registered because they're, like, super small indies that no one gave a fuck about. So, But I've been doing this for 20 years now, so yeah. Yay.
Well, so we'll start off, I guess. Gatekeeper. So how did that kind of nickname stick to you?
So that was coined by the late great Marcus Crane. Because during the time the Hal days, GCW was predominantly deathmatch wrestling. You had like KTB and I, we would do like the normal matches. Janela would be like hybrid, he'd like do the death match, maybe he'd do the regular match. But then it was after the Jungle Boy match. Jungle Boy blew up. Then I wrestled Jake Atlas, and then I don't remember. It just kept going on the list. And Marcus Crane was like, Tony, you're like the gatekeeper of GCW. Like, you got to get by Tony to do well. So then it just kind of went on from there. Like, it just kind of evolved from there, like, because of Marcus. Because Marcus, even before, like, anybody said anything about me, like, relatively nice, Marcus was like, yo, Tony is such an slept on wrestler. Like, he was the first person to really like believe in me, besides Janela, because that was way prior to GCW. So, but like Marcus in the GCW times, like a lot of fans fucking hated me because they were there for the deathmatch stuff, and I wouldn't be doing that stuff, and they'd be like, boo, boo, and they we want the blood, and I wouldn't do that. So it ended up just being people disliked me, but Marcus was like, Tony's that guy, dude. Tony is that guy. And then over time, I gradually got the fans to love me / hate me.
So who would be, I guess I got two on each spectrum, the person that you right away knew in the ring that kind of belonged in GCW that would stick with GCW, and who's kind of been the person that after the match you realized was not kind of GCW ready or kind of style?
Oh, there's a lot of those guys that were GCW not ready, and I really don't want to throw them under the bus, to be honest, but I can gladly discuss the story of it. I remember one specific guy, he walked in, and this was during the COVID days, so therefore it was an AC day. And the guy was just like, oh, he walked in, like, he's talking a lot of shit online at the first, like, whatever, because, like, online's not real life. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to take your job, Tony. And I was just like, okay, dude, like, if that's what we want to do, let's do this. So we plan the match, and he gets absolutely blown the fuck up, like bad. Like he's huffing and puffing. We get in the back. I go, hey, what happened there? And he's just like, man, I didn't get to go to the gym like this whole week. I go, my son at the time was 5 months old. I go, my son is 5 months old, and I go to the gym every day, and I didn't feel that way. I was like, this is on you, not on anything else. I was like, so don't be making excuses. Because, like, I really, people don't realize this because I don't get the opportunity to express myself with it, but, like, I hold GCW very near and dear to my heart. Like, when I wrestle there, it's all passion. Like, I could have a bad day, but I'm going to bust my ass there because I feel so heavily towards GCW. So for a guy, like, at that time, like, I felt he was using GCW for clout, and that pissed me off. He didn't give a fuck about making the product anything. He cared about himself, and I've got a big fucking problem with that. Like, I still see it to today where people are like, oh, they want to use GCW's clout because they know it has a lot of eyes on them. They don't give a fuck about the product, and that fucking pisses me off. Guys that I didn't think, like, he did awesome shit, but I just didn't really at the time because, like, him and I did not get off well. But I would gladly say Ninja Mac, because now he's great. 'Cause, like, I love Mac. But at the time, like, oh, like, go back and watch that video.
I think I remember that match. There was kind of at the beginning, him and, like, it feels like him and Cartwheel kind of had a similar kind of first matches with you, where they
That's
had
another
like
guy too.
Okay.
I'll tell both these stories. So go back and watch me and Mac's match. fucking, I was like, one, like I won. It goes 1, 2, 3, and you'll see me just fucking throw his leg down, and get so pissed and roll the fuck out of the ring. Like I was fuming because we did not click. And he also kept like jumping all over the place during the match. I was like, oh my God, do not like, as somebody who had more experience, like, yeah, he was like, Mac's way better than me, and I'll gladly admit that. Like the dude's fucking a freak. He's a fucking freak. But as somebody who has like knowledge on where things should be placed, type situation, like I think I got that edge on people. I really do. Like that's probably what I got on edge on people. Like that's why they'd call me the gatekeeper, to be honest. But like he just kept jumping all over the place, and like right towards the finish, like I'm doing this, like what the fuck you talking about? I'm not happening, dude. So that went straight to the finish. That's why I was so pissed. And then Jack, so I have 2 chipped teeth, and one is because of Jack. Like he was talking up some shit. He goes, I could do like an inverted like shooting star press or something like that. And I go, okay, cool, dude, let's do it. And we ran through the spot, and he looked at me, completely froze, and he like ran and threw his elbow toward me and clipped my teeth and just knocked it. And I go, what the fuck, dude? And now, like, first of all, like, I'm his dad's favorite wrestler, which is cool. But I've also wrestled Jack like 4 times after that, and I have so much chemistry with that guy. Like, he is fucking great. I love him, and the dude's an insane athlete. But like, we just got off on the wrong foot just because, like, I was nervous, maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't know what goes through people's heads. Like, I'm not them, so I can't really make an assumption on them. But like, I'm glad both those guys are in GCW still, because they are both phenomenal at what they do, and like they bring a lot to the table, which is great.
Yeah, and I think stylistically too, like just to click on, like get the chemistry right away without working together. Their styles are kind of very hard to do that right off the bat. But as you said, the more matches you had, we've seen the chemistry definitely click in, and seen how great those two have become since those matches.
Oh yeah, easily. Like I haven't wrestled Mac since, but like Mac and I became real close when we went to England together when we did Rev Pro. Like we were just like, we went there, and like we were roommates the entire weekend, and he thought he could drink me under the table, and he woke up to a realization that he could not hang with me. Like he could outsmoke me, that's for sure, because I don't smoke weed. But out drinking, Mac, he got the work. Like that was just like I saw my Facebook memories. That was yesterday, I think it was. That was the memory. Like it was like Mac was like, "Do you think I could out drink Tony Deppen?" And then the table's like, and we woke up, and he's just like, Tony, like I was going to the gym. He's like, dude, what are you doing? I was like, going to the gym. He's like, I feel like shit. And I was like, well, I'll be back.
So,
do you have any more questions about the moniker? Because
I just had to go back to the best one. Like, who was? It can't be Alex Zane. I think Alex Zane would be the easy answer. But outside of Alex Zane, who would be the one you kind of wrestled and right away you knew would fit GCW and the fans would take to?
If I had to realize like that, I just knew a guy, like we knew what they wanted, it'd be easy. I would say Jimmy Lloyd. Like he was that guy. Like we always just like Jimmy and I were always just like, let's do this cool, stupid shit, and like we never had any real plans towards. Like those first few, like I don't know how many times I wrestled him in the beginning of the Hal days, but like we did have a match once, and he did the crunchy Trent Beretta's move, the crunchy, where you have their legs here, and you sit down, and he was like, let's do it off the top rope, and like I was 26, 27 time. Like, yeah, cool, dude, let's do that. And he forgot to like knee down, so he sat on my face. Like, just came down. Jimmy Lloyd fucking bonsai dropped me off the second rope through a table. But then we wrestled a bunch of other times. Like, and I've always had great chemistry with Jimmy, and we never like that was just a freak fucking shit, because Jimmy was probably 16, 17, 18 maybe at the time.
Oh, wow.
Like he was a young boy. I remember the first time I met this kid, I used to travel for deathmatch tournaments because I genuinely like deathmatch wrestling. And when I graduated college in 2015, my friends and I went to Indiana for King of the Deathmatch, and Jimmy Lloyd was there, and he walked up to me. He's like, and in true Jimmy fashion, he's like, "Are you from Pennsylvania?" And I'm just like, "Yeah. How do you know?" He's like, "Your wrestling shirt." It's like, okay, dude, like this guy's fucking weird. Fast forward like 5 months later, I went to do CZW Dojo Wars, and he's there. And I was like, and I said to my friend, I was like, "Yo, you remember the guy fucking that would talk to me at King of Deathmatch?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "He's a wrestler." He's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "He's not that fucking bad either." So like that was my first interaction with Jimmy Lloyd, which is wild because like I love Jim. He's a great dude.
Well, I wanted to, since B was talking a little bit about the Gatekeeper moniker, and you were talking about kind of where the origins of that came from. It comes with positives and negatives. You know, do you feel that fans have a higher expectation for your matches because it comes with that moniker from the beginning, and then just adding stress? You know, half of that match is on the opponent. So, I mean, do you see the stress that you almost have to have there?
So I don't feel like there is a big stress on my part. I feel like there's a stress on the opponent's part to get themselves over because like they know coming in like, okay, this is gonna be like in between 6 and 10 minutes. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be one. It's not gonna be a 20-minute Broadway where we're like, oh ah ooh ah ooh. It's gonna be like this person's gonna get themselves over, or Tony's gonna get this person over. So like you're looking at a very limited time. Like you're looking 6-10 only max,
Yeah.
and the match is going on, and they're like, okay, it's like it's not it. It's not on them as much as you think. It's on me. I'm the one bumping.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that's fair.
the I'm the kid. Like these kids are fairly new, and like they'll throw up this. They're like, "This is what I do," and I go, "Well, what if we do this here, there, and there because it makes sense here?" And there's like, "Oh shit!" So a lot of it comes in like a mental stress where you are talking to these kids, and they don't conceptualize wrestling to a point. There's like, I get it because I did this, but I don't get it, and you're like, "Here's what I do," and you're like, "So you have to do everything." And it's as somebody who has to plan a lot of stuff to a lot of people, oh my god, it's irritating as fuck.
Yeah.
So like dealing with that, I'm like, oh man, like the worst thing about being a gatekeeper is like I bump a lot.
Yeah.
Like I bump the match is 75% them, 25% me. And people don't realize like that takes a toll on your body constantly doing that. Like just being them. You take all the moves and you hit one thing at Tony, then you win. Like that hurts your body after a while.
And without your personality, I think you would almost sink further into the background on that. But I feel like that's what keeps you on the forefront. There are some performers whose personality kind of swallows, you know, the ring. And I've seen many times where your interaction with fans or some of your facial expressions over time has actually, you know, drawn attention that way so that the person could have their time to shine later. So I do want you to know that it might be 25% them physically, but there's more than that emotionally coming from your side by far. And I think fans see that too.
Yeah, I get that, but being the gatekeeper or the guy that just takes all the moves for so long, it constricts your time or your ability to get to the next level because like you're always worried about putting somebody else over. Like you're never worried
Yeah.
about. I was never worried about myself. That was always a big problem.
So I kind of wanted to piggyback off that because I was going to be one of my questions later. How much do you feel that has affected your possibility of moving your career forward, worrying about kind of building others up?
I'll be 100% honest. It makes me feel like a glorified jobber, because it's always other person, other person, other person, other person. Never Tony. Like yeah, like let's get realistic. At the end of the day, If somebody gets over, they're like, wow, Tony did well for that person. But it's never Tony did well for Tony, you know? And the past couple years, like, I've been realizing that. I was like, well, it kind of sucks because, like, I would do the AEW stuff, I would do the Ring of Honor stuff, and they'd be like, I want you to get this guy over. And then you do that, and you're like, well, what about me? Like, at some point, you need to worry about yourself. Like I'm not trying to be selfish, but I want a little selfishness to come into play.
That where that Zack Sabre Jr. match kind of comes in? Do you think that was kind of your match for you to showcase and shine, or no?
I wanted it to be that match at Shine, but I broke my arm and my arm hurt. And right before we went out, we were asked could we like cut our time too, which kind of sucked. But
yeah,
and that wasn't on anybody else. That was just because like some people decided to go too long. I don't know who it was, but I was asked last minute. You know, and it seems like that was always my problem. Every time I got my match that I wanted, or like that, I was like, okay, this could propel me. Everybody went too long. Like, who went long? Who went too long? I don't know, but I know somebody did because I was asked to cut my match short.
What would be the one time that you wish you kind of spoke up instead of not speaking up?
I did speak up every time. Like,
good.
Y'all don't realize, like, I'm not a controversial person, but I'm a person I'm not going to allow myself to be pushed down. And like, they're like, cut this, like, but I was like, hey, but this, and it's like, no, can you please just do it? And then the other person I was wrestling agreed, like, hey, Tony, we'll do this, and we'll get another match eventually on the road. Sadly, we never got a match on the road. Like, I could count 5 matches on my like top 5 matches I wanted to have longer. That should have been longer, but everybody just went too long. And like I cannot go against GCW management because they asked me to go short. Like it's all against people that decided like, hey, we're the first 3 matches, we're gonna go fucking 20 minutes, you know, because this is before we stuck a strict line on like, hey, make sure you go X, you know. This was before, like at that time, I was like, hey, fucking freelance, go YOLO. And then the matches went too long. They're like, hey, can you cut your shit? Like, okay, whatever. Like,
Right.
what can I do? I don't want to make everybody feel like they're at a fucking marathon. I want everybody to enjoy where they're at. So it's just me being a company man at the time.
Another word for company man, though, also from that end is trusted. You know, if you had an employee that's a company man at your position, I think you would consider them trusted, like a trusted position somewhat.
Yeah. But trustees don't get you anywhere in life. So
Bingo.
it's just kind of what it is. That's life, I guess. Like, I really can't, like, I've got to do a lot of cool shit. So I really can't get too mad. Like, I could be frustrated, but I can't get too mad.
ZMZO right here. Oh, I go to put it up and then Brant goes to put it up. He just wanted to let you know, Tony, I love your in-ring versatility and psychology. And we're going to double. There we are there too, Maverick. Yep. Reed Harris Cooper, consummate professional. You're going to see this all night through chat, man.
Glorified jobber,
I was gonna say, yeah, I know what you kind of were feeling. I think tonight in our chat, and kind of what I've been seeing since your announcement, and even beforehand, like you were kind of like one of those unsung heroes, and we'll talk more later.
Like, I said I'm a glorified jobber. That's not really like the greatest compliment, but like, I hope he's trying to insult me because here's the thing: like, if you ever noticed in all the years I've been wrestling, and people try to insult me online, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, luckily we have good chat.
I have literally, like, I've been wrestling since the hard days where people would really try to rally your gears. And here's the thing: you're not gonna do shit to me. Like, say what you want to say. I don't give a fuck. Because guess what? You're a fucking loser that ever did a goddamn thing in your life. And you want to try to bring people down in your own life because you fucking hate your life. So fuck you.
Right there. Cheers. And a sip of the beer goes with, there we go. There we go. B, you're not drinking it all tonight? Oh, what you got?
Yeah, a little, what was it? Japanese, a soju or whatever that's called. Jinro. No Japanese drink.
Interesting.
It's not a Asahi, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll get your favorites later.
I'm gonna roll it back because I kind of have a timeline on you here, and I think there's a lot of people who, as they become GCW fans, they go back through the library and they look and they see a lot of your work. So I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about just these are the easy questions we'll go to we'll say here. Just starting from the fact that you grew up through the Attitude Era, is it safe to say that you were primarily watching like WWFE, WCW? Were you watching ECW yet?
Yeah, I was watching GCW
Okay.
because my dad was in a bowling league, and I stay with my dad every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'd go to the bowling league and we'd watch ECW on TNT, TNN, whatever it is. And my dad is a very strict bowler. It's like the equivalent to like a baseball dad or something like that. And I'd run up, I'd put the ball in my fucking fingers, I'd throw it down the lane, hit maybe one pin. So I go watch back and watch ECW. And my dad would be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, fucking pay fucking attention. Keep your wrist straight." Like, my dad was very strict on bowling. But like I've always just watched wrestling. Like when I would because like I lived next to my great grandmother, and my mom would work 2 jobs, so I would go to her house next door and we'd watch WCW. She refused to let me watch Raw. She was a WCW Nitro girl because she loved Lex Luger's titties bouncing. Like
Who
that
didn't?
was her thing. She's just like, "Oh my god, that Lex Luger guy, his boobs are bouncing." So like
Yeah.
I always watched WCW. Like now I would watch Raw when I got a chance to, but I was primarily a WCW guy.
Oh, no kidding. All right. So who was it over there that really got you the most? Who was your guy?
If you would ask the one day Brett and John Carl asked me like, "Tony, who's your favorite wrestler of all time?" And I go, "Dean Malenko," and they go, "You know what? Should have known."
Yep. Yep.
That
You
was
know
my
what?
guess.
Yeah. That looking at wow. Okay. That makes more sense than I thought. No shit.
He's always been my favorite wrestler, and so when I did a lot of AEW Ring of Honor stuff for a very long time, like I met Dean and like he aged my own a match is cool and blah blah blah. And the one day I saw him down in Orlando, and like I just always introduce myself because I'm a nobody to him, and he's fucking Dean Malenko. And I go, "Hey Dean, I'm Tony," and Dean's like, "Tony, I know who you are," and I was just like,
yeah.
"Oh my god, don't say that, Dean!" Like I felt like such an idiot because like that dude is like legit my favorite fucking wrestler of all time. Like I have best of Dean Malenko DVDs from Japan. Like he's legit hands down my favorite wrestler that ever existed. If he was able to still like wrestle in the past like 20 years, I may have paid somebody to let me wrestle him.
Now, was this something where a young Tony was going, okay, he's around my size, I can kind of do what he does? Is this where you saw yourself in him?
It was a size thing.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize, like, so my dad's 6'6", and both my brothers are 6'2". And I was never big to begin with. Like I was picked on like crazy in high school, like or like middle school, elementary school, like picked on the entire time. So like I always understood I was going to be a small human being.
Yeah.
So I just always liked Dean Malenko. Like I don't know what it was. It just he grabbed like that dude is my fucking jam.
So then around 02, 03, you started watching the independents, something like Chikara, which was close to where you were living. Once you became a fan of the indies, did any of your favorite wrestlers change at all? Or did you pick up a new favorite wrestler anywhere?
So when I first started watching the indies, probably I'd say like 2000, 2001, because my friend showed me Tournament of Death.
Ooh.
So like that, like, cause I really was disconnected from wrestling in general. So I'm like, I'm good, dude. Like this shit's fucking stupid. I'm done. Blah, blah, blah. My friend's like, you gotta watch this, blah, 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 So I really liked Ruckus, Chris Cash, um, El Generico, because I watched a lot of IWS. I loved IWS. I really wasn't a big Ring of Honor guy during like any of those years. which is weird because I did that style and wrestled Ring of Honor. But trying to really think because like I was not real like I was just an independent wrestling guy. I didn't really care about anything else. Like I know the like Trent Acid and what the fuck's Johnny Cashmere and stuff like that. I like those guys. I love watching Zandig, you know, or Danzig. Yeah, Zandig. Yeah, Zandig. I think
Both were cool though. Both were cool bands.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
one's a cool
Danzig's
band.
that cool. Danzig's a piece of shit. Well, actually, they're kind of both pieces of shit, so it doesn't really matter. Because Zandig's a fucking
Oh my
huge
god, I guess you're kind of
MAGA
right. Now I
grifter.
feel bad.
He's a MAGA grifter. Yeah, so like honestly, just a lot of those CZW guys. To be honest, those are my jam. Like Chris Cash, Ruckus, Johnny Cashmere, Trent Acid. Like I really wasn't a WWE guy, and I was never a CM Punk guy. I was never a Bryan Danielson guy or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to fucking call him. Like I like him more now in his latter years than I did prior. But I was never really. I watched like if I had to go Japanese wise, um, during that time, I watched a lot of Japanese stuff like in Noah and stuff like that. So like Ishimori and Kenta and oh my god, I'm terrible in names. Morishima,
Murakushi?
yeah, Morishima, like Morishima, shit like that. Like that is my stuff. Like that is what I liked. I genuinely love like yeah, he's a fucking this guy's a grifter too. The Necro Butcher and he beats his fucking wife because he's a piece of shit. But like the stuff that he was putting out, like him and Joe, literally, it's the best independent wrestling match that's ever existed.
I was gonna say that's one of my probably
That is
top
literally
5 that I
like
like to show
I wish
people.
Necro like if he wanted to vote for Donald Trump, I couldn't care less. But he beat his wife, so he can die and go to hell. So fuck him. But that is still a great match. Simple as
So,
that.
B, have you ever seen anything about that match before? The Samoa Joe and Necro match?
I've seen
Fucking
that
watch
match
it.
multiple times. Yeah,
It-
that's
Yeah.
I
it,
watch
like
it
the
once
first
a
time
year.
I didn't like it, but then like it kind of grew on me, and then like the lore, and then I kind of started picking
The
up on
lore,
it. Yeah, it started it grew on me for
It's a
sure.
war. It is straight up a fucking war, and I
Yeah.
loved it. Like
So
I loved it. Love it.
now you were a natural athlete growing up. In school, you played football in fall, wrestling and basketball in winter, baseball in spring. It sounded like it was kind of a natural progression to move into something physical like backyard wrestling. Could you possibly maybe describe the moment where shit clicked and you just went, you know what, let's roll? Like, was there a group of people with you at the time? Like, how did that go?
Honestly, no. So like I was an athlete for 13 straight years. Like I always did like I was a year-round sport guy. Like we didn't do travel leagues 'cause like my family could not afford that. But we would do different like basketball, wrestling, baseball, football, like just circulation of it. But then I moved to where I grew up, which is called Shamokin, Pennsylvania, and I really kind of disconnected myself from sports because like when you go through family problems, you kind of like disconnect from like a lot of things in life. Like you don't really try to worry about yourself. You just kind of like you become a reclusive person. Um, so I kind of stagnated away from a lot of stuff, and then in '05, my best friend he's the guy that does Burning Hammer photos. For he'll like randomly do some GCW stuff, and he was actually an OG GCW photography, Burning Hammer stuff, Burning Hammer photography. He's one of my best friends. Like literally, I've known him for 24 years. He's in my wedding, great friend of mine, and he's just like when he's like, "Hey man, I'm doing a backyard wrestling show, and my opponent bailed on me. He's like, do you want to wrestle?" And I go, "I don't really know shit about wrestling, but why the fuck not?" That's where I started. And like we just started backyard wrestling, and then everybody in the backyard wrestling scene was like that was we were with. They're like, oh well, Tony's gonna be like the fucking guy that just quits within like 2 years. And I just kept wanting to do more of it. And I'd go up every day after school and train. Like even in a backyard, I would train every fucking day.
When I was going through a lot of your old interviews and you were talking about XTW, I thought it was really cool how you described a lot of the setup that you guys had, because you didn't just have like a trampoline, you had a whole setup, I think, if I remembered. Could you describe a little bit of that at all, or what's worth describing, you think?
So we had a walkway, and you could find they're on the YouTube is Deppen 900, I believe. You could find some videos on there, and it's they were installation for a RV, because the one guy worked at that place. It was because it was near a house, and you made a fucking giant ramp, walkway, and then before we got the ring, it was like I think it was like we only had the trampoline for 3 months, and it was a regular trampoline, but then we put a bunch of pallets underneath, and we built up maybe 4 feet high, and then we took like a mattress or two and put them in between everything. So it was a mattress and everything underneath a trampoline. So it was equivalent, like you got the bounce of the trampoline, but it was all about the comfort of taking a move on a fucking thing. Like, and then we built up a bunch of the pallets from the insulation as a top rope and stuff like that. And so it was just like it was outlandish when you think about it, but like the fact that we thought about that was like wild as fuck. Like looking back into it.
I was wondering how many backyards were affected by Wrestling History X. Or I'm sorry, Wrestling Society X, because how they had the multiple platforms.
We were before them. That was before that. Wrestling Society X was like what?
Oh geez, 05
Early
or no,
2000s,
03?
if not earlier. Yeah.
They started
Yeah,
doing
could
that
be
stuff
right.
in like they started before I got to XGW was before 04, 05. Like they started in 2000, 2001, and they did the same things all the time. Like they
And
just
you
did it.
would you say BXW was your like biggest company's partner, like the biggest partner on the scene between you both?
I started working with them because the fact is that nobody else is wrestling, and I just wanted to wrestle more.
Yeah.
So.
And how far of a drive was that for you?
That was in Allentown, so about an hour away.
Okay. Yeah.
Allentown, Allentown, Bethlehem. Yeah, give or take.
Now, what's the dumbest shit you did in the backyard? Everybody's going to ask the backyard question. That's one of the best ones to ask. What's the one where looking back, you're like, damn, Tony, what were you thinking? You know, just being dumb, just being young.
I would take any move on the ground or off the top or to the outside or I think the most disgusting things, like, so the one time there was a 3-way we had, it was called a Betty Crocker death match. And every single form of weaponry was bakery issues, you know? And my one friend pulled out, like, he had a fucking ice, and I used to have, like, prior to like, me being hair right here, I had hair down to, like, about my shoulders. Like, I had long-ass hair. And my friend took the icing and spiked my fucking hair with chocolate icing in the middle of winter. Like, it
Yeah.
was fucking disgusting. And I'm a bit of a germaphobe, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, like, having fucking chocolate icing in my hair, spiking it, was disgusting. I was like, oh my god, this is so fucking gross. Like, because a lot of stuff, like, I would do stupid, like, because my brother and I, like, cause I would wrestle my brother a lot in their backyard. So, like,
Yeah.
that was the most, like, the worst thing, into like the icing thing. But like, my brother and I would just like legit punch each other in the face, like just full on fucking. punching each other. And I remember the one time we did a show in August of 07. It's called BYG 5 Alive. And I gave him a Death Valley driver off the top rope to the outside. Bam, fucking ruined his life. Pinned him 1, 2, 3, boom. Fans are going nuts. We look up, our mom is standing above us. Like, and everybody starts like, please don't ground them. Because they're all our friends. They're like, oh my God, like, she looks pissed as fuck. Because my mom was like, what's going on here? But my mom also like, oh, they're not doing drugs. I don't care. Because like,
Yeah.
where we're from, drugs are a very prominent thing, and in not a good way at all. Like, drugs have ruined our lot in our area. They ruined a lot of lives. So the fact that my wife and I were both in the same area, we've got out without being in that type of situation. We are very grateful in our lives. But I just because I was backyard wrestling, dropped my brother off from his fucking head off the top of the rope.
Now, what's the furthest you've traveled to do an event, a backyard event?
I went to Florida back in 2009.
So you pretty much traveled the coastline for a backyard show.
Yeah, I've
Damn,
always
dude.
enjoyed it. Like, a lot of my friends I had talked to this day, like the guys from Freelance, they were my backyard buddies, and that's how I know them. So it's always a good network.
So then, is there a possibility we see you in the backyard at GCW this 4th of July?
Yeah, I know there will be. You're like, I'm gonna do all of it again. I'm gonna whatever Brett wants to give me in these next couple of months, I'll gladly do it. Like, because I just want to give myself a send off.
Okay, so I'm just asking now. Could it be now? Could it be later? Is there a possibility we see Tony versus Anarchy Andy?
I fucking wish.
Just
Like,
asking.
I was at his wedding. He was at our wedding. He's a good friend of ours.
He's dead.
The backyard's the place to go, my man.
He's just dumb. The dude's like, I can't believe I broke my face when he took a move because, like, whenever he bumps anything, he can't bump anything properly. He has to bump it on his face, like, every fucking time. And I was like, dude, you'd be fine if you didn't fucking take every move on your face. And he's just like, I don't know, Tony. I was like, no, I know that. Because I've known Annie for 21 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He came up so much in all your interviews. I'm like, you know what? I've got to ask Tony because a lot of your interviews were from 2 or 3 years ago. And
Andy's the guy that I wish everyone knew about because he literally taught Pac to how to flip. Like Pac, the guy from AEW.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Andy was like, he's been a prominent person on backyard wrestling for his first backyard wrestling match was in 1994, I think it was. And for a while, Pac was hitting him up on like ICQ, one of those fucking. I don't know if
Old
y'all
school.
remember ICQ.
Yeah.
Like maybe ICQ or Yahoo. I can't remember. Yahoo Messenger. I cannot remember. And Pac was like, yo, man, how do you flip? How do you flip? And like Andy would just give him the rundown how to properly flip. So Andy taught Pac how to flip. Because Andy was doing fucking shooting star leg drops standing in 96. Like, which is insane. Like, if you look back in the history, like, that's a very big thing.
Well, you were talking about numbers earlier when I was going down through some of your accolades. And one of the tournaments I didn't include, I found an SSW cruiserweight tournament where you and Andy were in the finals. It was like a benefit show, I think, for his dad.
Yep.
And I spent a couple minutes watching that. Pretty damn cool. So yeah, I saw it and I go, okay, yeah, these guys can go. So I had to ask if you and Andy ever come back again down the road.
The wildest thing about that match, like, so that promotion, the guy who ran it, DiMunzio, rest his soul, great human being. He's passed away since then. He ran the show for Andy's father because Andy's father's had some medical problems. So I think he maybe lost a leg or something like that. I really can't remember the circumstance behind it. So he didn't put the address on the flyer. Didn't put the time on the flyer. And I was like, this show is going to be the drizzling shits. 300 people showed up.
Wow.
I was like, what the fuck happened? And the reason why Andy and I were in like the finals of that is because like the show prior, like we just did one show and like we just want you guys to come down. And Andy and I, like, I'm a firm believer, like just kill it wherever you go. It doesn't matter who you wrestle in front or whatever. And Andy and I killed it so bad, like, can you guys be the main event next show? Which is the same thing happens on Point. We did we opened Masters of the Mat because people were like, oh, like, because Loudy saw us and we did our thing. And he's like, yo, can you guys next show, like, semi-main event after the first show? We're like, yeah, cool. And then the third show, they're like, can you guys main event? I'm like, okay. Let's do it.
So now we're kind of back in these earlier years. What was the most unexpected piece of advice that a veteran wrestler gave you that you didn't take seriously, and then eventually you went, oh, no, they weren't lying?
I would say, I don't want to say his name because he's canceled. But he told me, like, he gave me some advice. Then full turnaround, I said, he goes, why did you do this? I go, because you told me not to do this. And he goes, hey, just because somebody gives you advice doesn't mean you should take it. Like, just because I say it, you need to realize it might not apply to you. And I was like, makes a lot of sense. Like, just because you have advice and it works for you doesn't mean it works for everybody else. And people need to realize that. Like, that's why I tell younger wrestlers, like, listen, what I'm going to tell you, like, it might work for me. And I get it. It may have, like, it has worked for me very well, but it might not work for you. Try it out. You're young. If it doesn't work for you, go a different way. Don't care. I don't feel, it doesn't mean you're not listening. Doesn't mean anything. It just means that's not the way it was.
Now, do you have any moves inspired by other wrestlers?
No, I'm basic as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I like in a perfect world, I would literally just rather like chain wrestle and do mat wrestling. I don't really want to do moves. Like, yeah. I'm hugely influenced by Malenko. He's currently canceled. Quackenbush, Johnny Saint, Skida. Like, those are the people I like. Not because I'm lazy and I want to bump, but just because I just genuinely enjoy like the intricacies of like their wrestling. So,
would a blood sport match be a possibility for Tony Deppen?
I wanted that since day one, but you know, I don't kiss the right ass, I guess, because I literally said from day one, from the first one ever, I went and said I would love to do that, and they go no. So,
man,
like, I've always wanted to do it. Like, I would gladly get hit in the face. I don't like. I like a stiffer style of wrestling. Like, I would take the hit in the face, but it's not what management wants. So, like, I can't tell management what they need to have. So it is what it is.
Well, then I'm going to go straight into GCW here. How did you find GCW or vice versa? Takes big drink of water for big story right there.
So in reality, I guess what I would say, GCW found me. So I did On Point Wrestling. And that's where I met Brett. And Brett wasn't running GCW at the time. I did 2 CCW shows, I think it was. And then a certain somebody with a letter C, his last name, did not like me. So I got outed off of CCW. Then, oh no, this was, so like I did one GCW show, but then DeMonto got mad at me because I did another show because it drew way more and it paid me a lot of fucking money. Because Brett told me originally, Brett goes, Tony, take the money, Tony. Like, just like if any of
Business.
presents you the
Yeah.
money, take the fucking money. So like this was 2016, I think 17, and I got offered $100 to wrestle 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking pass it up in front of 1,200 people. Did that. I got shit from GCW. Was still trying to do CZW, and then CZW kind of said, "Fuck you, Tony," because I spoke out against some stuff. Then Brett's like, "Tony, you want to do CZW or GCW again?" And because like it was me and Azrael first, and then came between everything where I did the whole like another show. Somebody got mad at me, didn't do any of that stuff. But then Brett's like, "Do you want to come in and do?" It was me, Jimmy Lloyd, Smiley, and what the fuck is that guy's name?
Ace.
No.
You did the thing with the chin here, and I went Ace.
It was oh my god. Starts Shinsuke. Oh, what the fuck's his name? Starts the. Oh my god, what's his name? Shinron. Shinron. So he's like, "You want to come and do this match for Shinron?" All of us like, "Yeah, sure." And that was for the hardcore title. So, which I won. So I was like, "Oh, I guess he wants to use me more." And then literally just like boom, 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 boom. Never stop, never stop.
Yeah, you said you'd spent some time at CZW, and then when you left, and again, like I said, this was on another interview, you said it changed you as a wrestler. And when you went to GCW, like your facial expressions were a little more stronger and whatnot. Was there anything else that changed? Because I think you said you were just more aggressive. Does that make more sense? Or what's the best way to put what you did there to change?
When I was doing CZW, like, "Yo, we want you to be like fucking straight baby face." And at the time, like, I never did baby face. Like, I had to go like, "Yay, guys, yay, yay, yay," like stupid shit that like that's not me. And I did that with me, Shinron, Jimmy, and Eli, or no, Smiley, and the ref fucked up some stuff. I don't want to say his name because he got canceled too. But I was really mad because he fucked up the finish, walked in the back, and the interview's on the internet because somebody's posted about it the other day. I was so fucking heated, and I'm walking in the back, and was it Mike Burns or Gary? I can't remember. Like, "Tony, give us a shoot or interview." You want a fucking interview? And I was so heated because the way that the ref fucked everything. I turned around and just like yelled, and I was a dick to a point. Like, I was just like giving everything I wanted to give. Interview stops. Janelle looks at me. He's like, "Tony, do that every time."
Yep.
And I was like, "Okay." So I just started being me. Like, I just started like, honestly, this is just a heightened personality thing. That's all it is. Like, am I a dick in real life? No, but like, I'm also not going to take shit from people. So like, I'm going to say what I want to say. Like, if somebody's going to be a dick to me, I'm going to fire back at them. And that's all it is. That's all wrestling is to me. Like, I'm my mom, to be honest, at a 700% magnitude, because my mom's wild as fuck. Like, my mom's 5'1" and beat all your asses.
I won't. My mom was like 5 foot. Yep.
Yeah, like,
I got enough enemies on this podcast. I don't need another one.
Those women are wild.
So now, we'll step away from wild women for a minute. I'm just going to ask you, Tony, your favorite venue. Is there an independent venue that you always love to hit up, or is there one you're looking forward to maybe trying to get into?
I wish it never stopped existing, but How for Game Changer World. That was a great fucking venue. Like, everything about that venue was fucking phenomenal. Like, just the atmosphere and like the feeling behind it. That I love that. I really hope before everything comes to closure to do UCC in LA again. I really love doing that. I'd like to go back to Chicago because that was always great to me as well. But I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna be realistic here and try to say Japan because I know that's not fucking happening. Like, never really got there to begin with. So like, why try to put that on the fucking fever dream? But UCC, Chicago, loved Hal. That was amazing. But yeah, those are the only things I can think of, really, to be honest.
We do need you back in LA because I can tell you that,
Amen.
dude, they loved you out
I hope
in
to
LA.
get back there. I don't book the shows. I don't know. If not, that's life. I really can't get mad at life. Like, if that's what the world meant to me, I guess that it is what it is, you know.
Never know. You put it into the atmosphere. We'll see what happens, brother.
I don't know. I'm just here. I don't know.
What's the craziest thing you've had a fan do to get your attention? There's got to be a weird one somewhere.
Oh my god, I want, like, so are we talking about wrestling, like when I was in a wrestling match, or in general?
The best story
Both.
wins, man. Yep, let's
We
hear
got
it.
time both.
I've had a fan solicit me naked, and they would fly me to Manhattan to try to get me to be with them. That
There
was
you go.
funny. Yeah, that was really fucking funny. Because they initially started the conversation with, like, I want you to sit on my face while I jerk off. So that was fucking hilarious. That was the initial email I saw.
Damn. So how
And I
long
was
was
at
the
a
plane trip? No.
well, I'm from fucking Harrisburg, so an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was at a party with some friends. They had their summer party or whatever, and like I was like, they're talking. I was like, hold on, guys, stop the conversation. Got to tell you this conversation that somebody sent to me, and they're like, what? And I told them, like, and a lot of it, like, there were people I was meeting for the first time, so I didn't really know like how wrestling was or like the weirdos that we encounter. And I told them, I was like, dude, who the fuck do you deal with? And I was like, well, you know, happens. But that was funny. That was funny to me. I find a lot of those inquiries funny as fuck, to be honest. Like, they don't weird me out. Like, I don't really have any proclivities in life that think me like, oh my god, why would you say that? I'm just like, okay, cool. That's what you want. Cool.
So that's that story.
Oh, I've got fucking thousands of stories to go. I could. My biggest problem is, like, if I would do a full blown like shoot, which I will be doing, it will be fucking like 3 hours long, because I have conversations for days. They've been all over the place.
So then I'll just run to this real quick. We built this city. This has been your song, your entrance since day one. The explanation, of course, is you felt that it was no, you looked it up. It was the most hated song, and that's how you'd chosen it, correct?
Yep.
So, Frankie, our East Coast correspondent, what did you have just there? He said, have you softened on the song? Has your opinion softened on the song over the years?
So fucking great. It's literally such a phenomenal song. I literally picked it, like, I genuinely liked it to begin with. And then I read an article by Rolling Stones, like, it's the fucking worst song in the past. At the time, it was like 30 years or something like that. I was like, well, you're all stupid. Like, I can name a million other terrible songs. So I picked that.
Yeah.
And I just never, like, every time I wanted to switch it, like, this is before I got any steam, a lot of local people are like, yo, if you switch this song, we'll kill you. So, like, I could never get away from it.
And let's just pretend, Starship just went away on YouTube. Do you have a secondary choice for Brett just in case? Or would you just make the fans sing your song?
Yeah, I'd make them sing, to be honest. Like, if the last day that I became for my match and, like, they eliminated the song, I'm like, y'all gonna sing it.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, You ain't getting nothing new. Like I was gonna originally switch it to a band that I really like called the Wonder Years. It's a song come out swinging. I was gonna switch back in like 2010, I think it was.
Hmm.
And then I was like, I don't think it fits. So I just never did it.
So you were talking about how you like NJPW. We were talking about ECW. May 15th, 2022, you're standing across the ring from Minoru Suzuki at the 2300 Arena for NJPW. Now, as a fan of both companies, how did that feel?
That was really cool, and I also got a lot of compliments from Minoru Suzuki. I wish it happened in a it's and I don't really want to discredit what I'm going to say here to the promotion I'm talking about, but like I wish it happened in better promotion because like the United States, New Japan is not New Japan. Simple as that. Not discrediting them, but let's get realistic. New Japan in today's market will be floundered by people who are attracted by the name, not by the meaning behind it.
The aura.
Yeah, like they don't understand it. Like I would have much rather it happen in GCW because I know that those were talks at the time to be having me with Minoru Suzuki at GCW, but it's never panned out. Which because there's a
Yeah.
lot of other people like that could come in and play with it. So it is what it is. But like I'm just like I wish it happened there. Like Minoru Suzuki did compliment me highly to the New Japan management, but it really, obviously didn't do a fucking thing. So it really didn't matter. But like it was still like okay, cool. But like it is what it is.
So then, who at GCW's brought out the most in you in the ring?
Fuck. Hmm. Fuck. Maybe hot sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding,
I think
huh?
maybe once or twice I wrestled him. I wrestled him, but like I love Sauce. He's been my boy for many years. I wrestled him at a small show at once, and then I wrestled him at GCW, and he literally showed up maybe 10-15 minutes before our match, and we had
Wow.
a we had a killer match. It was in Asbury. I can't remember which the match it was, but like, dude, we had one of my favorite matches. Like we just fucking killed it, but I love that. Like working with him is amazing.
So then I'm wondering also going into the second half of your career, who have you learned the most from by working with?
Um, I fuck. I would Janela or hot sauce because those
Yeah.
would be the dudes that I work the most. To be honest, like I've worked both them a lot of times, so I feel like it'd be more appropriate to say those two people.
So then which wrestlers are you proud to say that you recommended to Brett over these last few years? Is there anyone?
Leon Slater,
Nice.
he thanked me every day
Mm.
because when we did London 23, I think it was. He was not like he was supposed to be on the show, but then Brett cut it because time constraints. And I go, Brett, like you need to have him on the show. And Brett was like, hey, I don't know, Tony. You're supposed to have a three-way. And I was like, dude, just please. Just like, I give you my word. He's like, well, it's your word, Tony. Okay. So my whole entire thing was like, well, Leon, let's get you over, bro. Because I saw him in progress back in 2022. and he had an awesome match with Speedball Mike Bailey. And I was like, yo, we need to have him. I instantly messaged Brett. I was like, yo, we need to have him. And he's like, okay, let's see what we do. And also was the same was back in 2019, and it was Manders, O'Shea Edwards, I can't remember the other kid's name, but they had awesome 3-way. And I messaged Brett like, yo, you need to have Manders. Like, this guy fucking had a banger. Like, it took a while to get him there, but, still came. But, like, I'm a firm believer, like, just put out the people, like, that is going to be there. Like, did they respond right away? No, but whatever. But it still got where I needed to be.
So then you had a 315-day Extreme Championship run for GCW. Could you talk a little bit about that? Is there more that you wanted to do with it? Were you happy to get rid of it after almost a year? I mean, what were your thoughts on that run?
I hated having it at the time because the fact is, like, this is when GCW, like, we didn't have a lot of money. Like, there was no backing. It was just like Brett ran off of what he drew. So I would have to pay money to, like, with the fucking belt to put it in my bag because it was heavy. It was a heavy motherfucker. So every show I'd had to constantly put it in my fucking bag and pay for it, and I hated it. I was like, this is fucking stupid. Fucking hate it. But
So
I had
heavy.
a lot of fun. Yeah, dude, yeah, it was a bulky motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, like, I was constantly having to fucking, like, and I didn't care. Like, I had a good job at the time. Like, just, and Brett's like, Tony, can you come here? Can you come here? I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And I would just pay for the belt. And then
Wow.
I lost it in 2018 of September, I think it was. It was me, PCO, Gringo, and Nate Webb. And I remember this because I was just in Chicago this past weekend, and the one brewery I went to in 2018. The night before I went to the brewery, or I lost my belt. And it was the only time I ever got drunk before I wrestled. Like, I wasn't drunk, but, like, I had a few beers and I went, and then some fans were like, Tony, hang out with us. And they gave me, and I never took an edible before my entire life, and they gave me an edible. And, dude, I was disintegrated. Like, 3 hours before the show, I'm sitting on the cement in fucking February, just tired, cold. Like, I'm going to die because I never took an edible before. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I need to sober up because it's like 20 minutes before bell time or whatever. So I put my fingers to my throat and projectile vomited everywhere. And I came up from my high and I went up to PCO and like, yo, let's do this match. And ever since then, I never smoked or drank before my match ever. Because like that, like, because I was like, no, it's a no. But like, oh my God. And the clips online somewhere like PCO gives me a tombstone while giving a double choke slam because it was a spot that I came up with. Like, my friends and I are randomly fucking around. We came up with it. And I said to PCO, I'm like, yo, I'm like, it'll be great. I'm like, because I don't do deathmatch. I'm like, if you hit me with a fucking light tube and that's why I lose. I'm like, that's a story. He's like, okay. And he fucking belted me on the, I'm like, just don't, like, hit me in the bridge of the head so it doesn't, like, kill me. And he spiked it on my head and glasses, like, everywhere in my fucking head. I'm like, you motherfucking PCO. But I love Carl. He's a fucking great person.
He's been around a long ass time too.
Oh yeah, and he's just a great human being.
So what's the best storyline you feel like you've been a part of in your career?
None.
Really?
None. What I've ever gotten a storyline with GCW?
Yeah.
Funches?
What? Which one?
Funches?
That was something that was Ron and I did that on our own.
Yeah, that
So I
was
was gonna
really
ask some more questions about that, like how it came about. What was like your favorite part?
So
Was there any
Ron and
part
I
of you
want to
didn't
do
like?
that. Ron and I originally want to do that with Ring of Honor because Ron was asking me to. He's like, "You think we get this Ring of Honor?" I go, "Probably not," because I'm just like new there. I was like, "Let me like we'll talk to Brett about it," and then Ron and I kept like shooting the shit back and forth with each other, and Brett like messaged like, "Tony, do you like we're gonna have this show in Chicago? Like, do you really not like Ron?" I go, "No." I'm like, dude, this is an angle. I'm like, we eventually want to try have a match, and he's like, "Do you want to do a GCW?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" I'm like, let's talk to Ron. Like, let's get it like going. Like, and then like when we did the initial slap in Chicago, I told him I was like, "I'm gonna fucking hit you, just so you know. Like, I ain't holding back." I was like, "This is wrestling. Simple as that." He was like, "Okay." And then Brett's like, "Yo, can you come to fucking LA at the Improv?" He's like, "I want you to do like Ron's gonna do a stand up and you're gonna do a run in." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." And when I'm doing it, because Brett's like, "Tony, when that red light runs on, start jabbing." It's like, oh man, like when you're in a crowd full of people like they don't know wrestling and you gotta portray a wrestling angle, that's difficult.
yeah.
So I
I will
start
say as a fan, I love that. Like that was a big like tuning point, I think, to get a lot of
dude,
fans tuned into that one. That was so awesome because it kind of went viral a little bit.
yeah, I was running my mouth. And then Ron was playing along, and this old guy's like, "Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit!" Like he's screaming, like, and these people start walking towards me, like we're gonna kill you, and I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking die, dude. Like, so like everybody's like trying to clear me out, like, no, 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 let's just like get out, let's get out, let's get out. So take me up to like the main area, and I was like, oh my god, that fucking sucked. I was like, because like I'm around people like they're trying to kill me. It was suck because I really wanted to see the headline. I can't remember who it was. He was the guy from Hot Tub Time Machine. Patrice O'Neal, I think. Maybe. I can't remember. But he was to be the headline and I was going to go. But then I ended up going to another LA comedy club with Ron and I got to smoke weed Xbox, which is cool as fuck.
Hmm.
And I'll see Bobby Lee and Eddie Pepitone, which they were phenomenal. I'm a big comedy guy, so I loved it.
Did you have any other questions there in regards to that, B?
No, I just wanted to hear about like that story and how it came about. Yeah, like he told everything there, I think.
All right. Well, we're talking about, you're talking about winding down your wrestling career, and I do want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Could you give a little bit of how you're feeling on the negative side and on the positive side? Because this is superbly bittersweet, to be honest with you, I think from fans. And so, yeah, I'm just kind of curious, the goods and the bads there.
I'll be honest, I don't have any positive sides.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to stop wrestling, but also, like, I don't want to be the guy that just fades into obscurity. I've been reaching out to people for the past 2-3 years to try to get myself more bookings. It doesn't happen. They go unread. Like, so, like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Like, I really don't. Like, I just want to wrestle. And at the point of this revelation in wrestling, that is not where I'm supposed to be. So I really cannot get mad about it. I just gotta embrace it. Like I'm not any younger. My body hurts. I already know like just like driving anywhere like makes my hip hurt really bad. Like really bad because over the years of doing the dive and nobody catches me and I just hit my hips and it hurts really bad. So I don't want to be the guy that can't walk for my children.
Yeah.
Like, it's fairly simple as that. Like, I genuinely love wrestling. It's everything. It's the only thing I've ever been good at, and it's the only thing I'll ever know that I'll be good at. But also, in the same sense, you need to look in the same sense. Like, if it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. And at this point in my life, I feel like it is my time for you to go because nobody cares that I'm here. That's my perspective. So I'm just like, well, if nobody cares, then why should I care? And also, I want to just be here for my children and my wife because, like, these past 7 years of traveling very substantially, like it took a very dramatic toll on my relationship with my wife. Like, we're great now, but like when you're away 14 days a month,
Yeah.
it's not good on a marriage.
No.
It isn't. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter which way you want to spin it, and people don't realize like that is a very big thing. Like, and I'd much rather have my wife and my children than have professional wrestling. I love
And
professional wrestling, but like, what can I do? Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to sacrifice my family, or do I want to just have a business that at the end of the day that most of the people that I'm hanging out with won't give a fuck about me. Like, it's simple as that.
there's a
Like,
lot
I
of
know it sounds
interesting.
it really sounds like morbid and like pessimistic, but like it's realistic. Like, I broke my arm and not a single person reached out to me. So why? Like, I, I ain't trying to throw anybody in a bus, but like, what? In which way should I be like, oh yay, great job, man! Thanks for not reaching out to me. Like, my arm's broken. Like, somebody literally said to me, like, and it was some GCW roster people, and they go, dude, I felt so bad for you. I go, why? What? Why? And they go, well, you sacrificed your entire life for GCW, then you broke your arm, and then nobody cared about you.
Jesus.
Like,
That's what they're seeing. Yeah.
yeah, but when you say when they say that towards you,
Yeah, that's pretty offensive.
yeah, no, like, is it offensive or is it truth, or there's a lot of truth behind it? You know,
Well, either way, do you feel that was set out of love? You know?
mix of both.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, and like, I have a lot of respect for Brett and Joey and all the other people that have helped me out tremendously over these years. But like, also, I'm like, okay, like, somebody says that, you're like, oh shit, man. You know, like, I've given a lot, like, over the years. Like, I ain't saying I gave more than other people because I know Joey, Nick, and Jimmy have given a lot as well. But you know, it is what it is. Like, I really like. I don't. What should I dwell on it, or should I just be like, it is what it is. Like, that is the life that this world has carved out for me. Like, it is what it like. So what? I got a great life. I met a lot of amazing people. Some of my best friends are from wrestling right now. So, like, it is what it is at this point.
So
Well, now
on
I
your,
go ahead, buddy.
I was just gonna say, you talked about this last part. What would you like to see, or what would you like to happen at the last part of this career?
I would just like for people just show the respect that I've given to everybody else. Simple as that. Like, I've been doing, like, I put over so many people. I'm not looking for a fucking silver plaque. I'm just looking for like, thank you, Tony. I've been doing this for 20 years. I was one of the guys, not the guy, but I was one of the guys that got people to want to wrestle at GCW. Because prior to people looking at the wrestling aspect of GCW, there's like, oh, well, it was all deathmatch. Like, I saw all the negative comments of how shitty, like, deathmatch is fucking dog shit, blah, blah, blah. And then you had, like, me, like, a Joey, and a fucking KTB. We'd, like, wrestle our asses off, and nobody'd care. And we kept doing it. We kept fucking busting our asses to make sure that there was more to GCW than just deathmatch wrestling. But and at the end of the day, it is what the fuck it is. Like, what can I do? I don't control anything other than my own destiny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite matches that kind of goes along with that point. I think I was against someone that canceled that I don't want to name, but they kept on sliding light tubes into the ring, kept on stepping on them or throwing them out, and taking them out like they wanted to get ultra violent, and you absolutely were not letting it happen. Like I don't want to say the name if I'm correct.
Just say it. Just say it. Just say it.
Raver. If I'm not mistaken, like you had a match against somebody that wanted to get ultraviolet, kept on sliding light tubes in the ring. You kept on sliding them out and then like throwing them out into the crowd, saying like, I'm not doing this. It was against like an ultraviolet person, and like I can't remember what, but that was one of my favorite matches I think you had. Now you're gonna make me look it up, and now I'm not going crazy here. I'm looking
It
it
had to
up.
be like a multi-person matchup.
I thought it was 1-on-1 against.
No, because I've never wrestled G Raver 1-on-1. We were supposed to, and I think Allentown. Because I was supposed to like the two matches I was supposed to have in singles, like that I always wanted was Raver and Marcus. And Marcus got canceled because I was doing Shikara early April. It was like an early show, and like we had a freak snowstorm. So I tried to drive my little fucking Volkswagen through the snow in Pennsylvania. I couldn't make it to Allen. That's when they were in Allentown.
So I'll lighten it up a little bit just for the hell of it here. You and I have a little bit in common. I'm terrible at bass. You play bass. Also, I grew up not too far from Amish country in Ohio. You grew up not too far from Amish country in PA. So have you ever been to Amish country down there?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes from my house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, once you get older, you start to realize, like, okay, good meats, good cheeses. Sometimes that's where you can get like
they've got a great fucking butcher market and great whoopie pies.
Dude, it's on. Dude, they used to have a killer buffet that was nothing but Amish run, and it was just, the best homemade food you could ask for, and
Amish people don't fuck around.
No. My mom was married to a Mennonite, which is like an Amish guy, but he believes in electricity.
Yep. But they black out everything they had, like any emblem.
Yeah.
Like any emblem gets blacked out as a Mennonite.
It's the weirdest story I can tell you. There was a family that would hang out in Ohio at a Walmart, and they were trying to find tall men who were willing to give donations, we'll say, for like a couple $100 per donation, because they were trying to get like new blood into their communities, because some of the communities are so tight that I'm just
blowing in my wife, bro.
Well, no. Like it's weird, but yeah, they're like, well, you're strong. We need farm strong kid. Do you want to work? Do you want this? Do you want a wife? Do you want to? It's like, wow,
muscles, love it.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
So
I
then,
never
did
ran
you?
That problem.
No. Did you then grow up on like Pittsburgh TV too, like KDKA, WPXI?
No, people need to realize where I'm originally from. Like, I'm centralized Pennsylvania, so like I'm in between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a big Pittsburgh guy because like I'm a Pirates and a Steelers fan. So I was never like, I was always in the middle of everything. So I just got included because where I was at. I just also love the Pirates.
So then I'm going to go back to reflective just for a minute here, and I really shouldn't have jumped away and jumped back in, but you were talking about some people that were upcoming. You were trying to find some people. You were looking at maybe some companies. Let's go this route then. What's a piece of advice you would give your rookie self if you could go back in time right now, given the same situation? What is the one thing you would like to sit that young man down and tell him to, be guarded for or be ready for?
It's the weird things. Like, so when I grew up in wrestling, I was a guy that's like, I ain't taking your shit. Simple as that. And I'm like, here I am 20 years later, I still ain't gonna take your shit. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's just like, be better to each other. Like, I think the wrestling industry sucks. Like, genuinely, I think it sucks. Like, it's just like, people are just like objectively terrible to each other because, like, no one wants anyone to succeed more than themselves. Like, they see somebody else doing, like, oh, that's fucking stupid. How dare that person? Like, I want everybody to succeed, but nobody else. Like, I don't feel like talking to other people like they don't want the same thing. Like, I just wanted to have fun. Like, that was my main objective. I just wanted to have fun over these years, and I was very fortunate to do what I had to do and got where I wanted to be. Like, because of fun. So
are you slowly trying to look into lining up some people here or there? Like, have you contacted a person and said, let me find the company that fits this? Or are you not in that planning process just yet? Like, I don't know where you're at yet. So I'm just asking an open question just to see how much planning has went in so far.
I'm literally just reaching out to people, ask, like, I don't care about anything. I just want to wrestle.
Gotcha.
It is what it is. Like, what can I do? Like, I've got some clout, as the kids would say, but I don't have enough.
Yeah.
And I don't want to overextend my welcome. I'm just going to be myself, doing what I got to do, enjoying what I got to do. Like, it's very simple.
Now,
like,
you did
I'm not using this shit as a fucking prop up. I'm not trying to gain any extra money out of this. I'm literally just doing like when I say I'm done, I'm fucking done. Like, I want to do shit with my kids. My body hurts.
Yeah.
Like, what more does somebody want out of me? And I can't wait for the day that when I get ready to be completely done with all this shit, and somebody goes, Cody Deppen, who? And I'll be like, well, bigger than whoever you ever been, because you're a fucking dipshit. Like, it is what it is. Like, I just gotta be, at the end of the day, what do we need? Like,
yeah.
Like, I really don't want to I don't want to be done wrestling, but you gotta take what you got.
So then is there a future elsewhere in the way of possibly doing training with other people and maybe doing something like that? Or is that too much of a time taker?
No. It's like, I would love to, but also in the same sense, here's the thing, like, when it comes to like the training aspect of wrestling, like, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and sometimes I may come off as an asshole.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, oh wow, he's such a dick. Can't stand this guy, blah blah blah. Like, it's like, but in reality, it's just like, no, like, I just hold wrestling to a high standard. And I have always. Like, I want you to do it well, and I want you to do it right. And if that's too much to ask, then I really don't want to deal with you. So I'd rather just say, hey, I'm done wrestling, and then just say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, do I come back in fucking 10 years when I'm 50 or 47? Okay, I don't know. Probably not, but you know, I just want to spend time with my kids. My son's gonna be 5. My daughter's gonna be 4. I really don't know what to tell people at this point in my life. Like, do you want me to keep fucking pushing it? Like, I missed my fucking son's first steps because of wrestling. Like
That right there is, any man who's been busy with work knows exactly what you're talking about. Yep. There's B. I got to a point one time where my son was barely able enough to walk, and he started piling his toys in front of the front door to try to block me from leaving. That fucking hurt.
Like I could tell you where I was when my son took his first steps. I wasn't home. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, at Center Stage.
Yeah.
And my son took his first steps. I wrestled Brogan Finley. And my wife's like, "Hey, look at this." And I missed my son's first steps. I was like, "Wow, fuck this."
Yeah.
Only reason I saw my daughter's first steps because I broke my arm. So,
yeah.
Like, and I'm getting to a point where my family are doing bigger things. Like, and if wrestling isn't making a bigger thing for me in life, then why should I sacrifice my family's life? I've always been a big family man, and I always will be. And if that makes me any of a lesser wrestler, I honestly couldn't give 2 fucking shits.
Boom. Right there.
This is me. Like, I am me. I never thought wrestling was going to get me anywhere. I never thought I was going to wrestle outside of fucking Pennsylvania. So I really don't give a fuck. Straight up, 100%. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. But guess what? At the end of the day, life sometimes tells you this is not what you were meant for.
Yeah. Well, then,
and that's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, so there's so many ways to exit wrestling, and yours is one of the ones that I would have to say would be more positive than negative, because you do have a life and a family outside. You know, you could be mid 40s, no family, no career, no workable, anything to, you see what I'm saying here? So you are in a position where you're able to say, you know what? Yeah, it's just out one door and into another kind of situation. But I mean, you do have a beautiful story there, honestly, that I think a lot of wrestlers almost wish they had. There's a lot who don't have children. There's a lot who don't have a home. You know what I mean? So there's some who don't have bank accounts, So
I have a pension.
And that is, you're already above a large percentage. So look at it that way.
I was just like, well, what do I want? Like,
stability.
Like, I know my body can't handle this forever. Like, my hips completely fucked up. And people don't realize that, like, doing the gatekeeper shit, like, you're bumping multiple times for people. Like, you're doing, like, whatever big move they have, you're taking it. And that takes an effect on your body. And as you get older, like, okay, you're taking 80% bumps and you got 20% of your own offense. Well, now your body hurts. And then you do the dive and nobody catches, and which has happened multiple times. So, like, it is what it is. Like, I would genuinely love to wrestle for another 10 years, but you know what? I really don't see a point. I lived a great life. I had a great life, so it is what it is.
Be fortunate you get to call your shots on the way out also.
Yeah, I look just like you go out the way you want to go out, you die in just to a fucking irrelevancy. It's like, oh, well, and whatever happened to Tony? Oh, he just fucking faded off. I'm never retiring. I'm going to put that through. I'm never retiring, because you got to complete something significant to retire. And I never did that in my own lives. But I'm taking a step back. 4 years from now, maybe. 10 years from now, maybe. But at the current day, I just got to get out of. I gotta do some balance in my head. It's simple as that. Because these past 4 years, 3 years, ever since my arm injury, it has fucked with me mentally, physically, and every other way possibly. So I just really gotta zone in on myself for once, which I haven't done for the past 10, 12 years.
Do
And you're
you
very
feel
fortunate to have a partner that supports you in doing so also. Very fortunate. There's quite a few who don't have that.
Well, she's currently sleeping on the couch, but she is the most amazing person in the world. She is put up with a lot of bullshit, a lot. And I'm very grateful and very thankful that I have been able to encounter somebody who is as amazing as she is, because she is great. Like, it's very difficult for her to put up the shit that she had to put up with. Like, when I was in Japan for 3 weeks, and then when I came from Japan, I went to fucking Chicago and stuff like that. And like, there were times that I literally forgoed my pay with Brett and like, hey, can you fly Cassidy, who's my wife? I was like, can you fly her to this show when I come home so I can see her? And he's like, is that what you want? I was like, yeah. I was like, please, like, I'll gladly not take any pay. Just fly her there so I can see her.
Yeah.
And like, and then after we had kids, she like our first son, or when we had our son, she fucking was a goddamn all-star with it. And then we had our daughter, even more of an all-star. And like, I just realized like I was never able to get to the level I wanted because I had so many things in Ring of Honor tell me I was going to be, and then they kept fucking me around. And I put her on the back burner and our family on the back burner. And I'm done with it. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
Like, she suffered enough. And simple as that. Like, I didn't want her to suffer like the way she did to begin with, and she had to a lot. And that fucking people don't realize, like, yeah, I'm an asshole in the ring. I'm a fucking big old ass. Like, I'm a projected asshole. But in reality, like, the people I care deeply about the most are my wife and my kids and anybody that I presume as family. And GCW's my family too, and my wife's my family, my kids are my family. And I, in my personal opinion, I've hurt all of them by just being not coherent altogether there. So at this point, like, why hurt anybody else?
That's some grown man shit, Tony.
No, you got
Serious. You've hit some points there that I think that's where heads of the tribes have to eventually, make those decisions. So you've said quite a few things there. I'm like, you really have put a lot of excellent thought into this, and I want to give you kudos for that by far.
well,
Man.
like I said, I never really wanted to retire or stop doing this, but I just realized I got to do it for everybody else's sake.
Well,
This has nothing to do
as long
with
as
this has nothing to do with myself. This is everything to do with everybody else. So,
but as long as you stay healthy, the door is primarily open for you when you're available on a weekend date. Roughly.
depends how my kids feel.
Right.
Like, I really don't give a shit about anything other than my kids and my wife at this point. Like,
that's all that matters, brother.
Like,
that's all that matters.
I wanted all this wrestling stuff to be a fucking grandizing scheme for my children and my wife, but it didn't happen. Like, if you catch me on a real shoot over here, I'll give you the fucking 411 on all that shit. Because I've got my fucking shoot interview planned. Whew. And I might bury some fucking bridges at this point. Nothing with GCW, it's other people. Like,
I want to talk about
I'm coming swinging for that shit.
I wanted to ask you this much. Do you think a young Tony would be happy to learn that wrestling took him to the Vans 25th anniversary show?
Yes.
That was a cool little spot. I mean, you guys are out there on that hot ass sand.
Oh, it was the worst show ever, though.
You and Gacy?
Yeah, dude, I did that dive, and like, there's these fucking metal goddamn, I don't know what the fuck they were, dude. It sliced my leg up to fuck oblivion. I did this sui, and I did like a side pull, and it landed right on my leg, and it just cut my leg up. And it ruined my gear too, because sand was all in it. Oh, dude, it sucked. But I love Joe. But like also as somebody who like went to Warped Tour for many years, it was cool as fuck to me.
Okay, this kind of just one name, best concert you've been to. It's not easy.
No.
Because there's good crowds and then there's good bands, and you're lucky if you can get both in the same room at the same time.
I'm always going to be super biased towards a band who I've loved for many years called the Menzingers.
Mm-hmm.
They're been one of my favorite bands. I've seen them in 3 different decades. So, and like I took my wife there for the first time, and it was the night after I broke my arm with Zack Sabre. Like people like so. Here's a fun story about the night I broke my arm. So Zach broke my arm, and I didn't tell anybody, and I went back to the room like because I remember I put Zach in a thing. Oh, hey, I'm supposed to do it. Like I'm whispering when I'm talking. It's like my arm hurts, dude. I can't do this. And he's like, okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Blah blah blah. I get in the back and I went to pick up my phone, and it felt like somebody dropped an anvil on my arm. I couldn't feel my arm. I was like, well, that sucks. So I'm 3.5 hours from Brooklyn, and I told my wife, and she's like, just go to the hospital. I go, no, I'm just gonna drive home, dude. Like it's good. Drove home. I went to bed, woke up, and my arm was like 8 times the normal size. And she's like, you gotta fucking do something about this, dude. Like your arm's fucked. And I go, I guess I'll go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, and they're like, hey, your arm's broken. You need surgery. And we're gonna I could either put a metal plate in your arm, make it good. I was like, I don't want surgery, like, because I'm very opposed to like the medical practice in the world anyway. So I'm like, no, I'm good. They're like, well, what we could do is we could grab your arm and the bone and pull it as hard as we can and pull it back into place. And I go, yeah, that sounds like hell. Like I'm good. And they're like, well, okay, come in for surgery tomorrow morning. I go, actually, I'm going to a concert tomorrow, and I kind of don't want to fucking come to surgery because I already paid for the tickets.
Yeah.
And they're like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, yeah. So it's going to be. I told my wife, and she's like, you're an idiot. I was like, well, guess what? Already bought the tickets. Don't care. So we went to see the Menzingers, and I've been listening for 30 years almost now. I was like, favorite fucking band. And Monday morning, I go back in for my surgery consultation. They're like, so what'd you do this weekend? I go, went to a concert, had a few beers, got drunk. That was it. And they go, dude, your arm's back in place.
What?
I go, so I don't need surgery? I go, no. They're like, it is literally back in place. Just let it heal. I go, cool. Let's go. And my wife goes, you're a liar. You fucking asshole. You're a liar. No. This is a specialist, orthopedic specialist, said I'm good. And she's like, okay. So I never got surgery. I was supposed to get surgery, but it's just the way I roll. Like I care less about myself and more about what other people are gonna do. So that was the biggest problem.
So we had a lot of people asking beer questions. So let's start talking about your brewery here, Pilgaroo, and how it got started. First, a lot of people look at the name and go, what in the heck? What does that mean? Could you help us out with the name Pilgaroo?
Yeah. So Pilgaroo means place of rest. That's the biggest thing. And then when you want to have a beer, you chill and rest. Like that was the whole premises behind it. It's a old pilgrim thing, and it's off of 601 in the Allenton area. So when my friend and I my 2 buddies and I, we were literally brewing beer, having fun, and we did some festivals, and we did remarkably well in the festivals, and it ended up being like, oh, it was like blah 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 blah. And my friend messaged me late and he's like, yo, I'm hammered. And I applied for our LLC. I was like, okay, cool, dude. So it just ended up evolving to that. Like, so, like, it wasn't meant to happen. It just kind of happened.
So then you started home brewing and you got hit with the homebrew bug. What were you brewing?
Just IPAs and stouts. Like, we weren't really like going anything crazy. Like, we were just doing like the generic, like whatever anybody liked. Like, we weren't really going out of this world.
2 locations right now?
Yes, Gettysburg and Pottsville.
Right. So you're running the one?
I read the Gettysburg location.
Nice. Nice. Good job. Right now, what do you have over there? Stouts, IPAs, lagers, pilsners. What do you really running?
A lot of pilsners and stouts.
Mhm.
A lot of pilsners, stouts, and pilsners, stouts, and lagers. 2 IPAs, because we always have 12 beers on taps. Like 2 IPAs, a seltzer. It's constant rotating because like we have a great brewer. Cause like I have a real job. My business partner has a real job, so it's hard to really keep in line with that. We have a great brewer.
What's popular right now? What's people drinking? I know IPAs were for the longest time the big deal.
Pottsville Pilsner will be the most popular at the moment. Like that sells like crazy. Like I would love for GCW to run a show in Pottsville because I know we draw well, and I know I'd be like be able to sell my beer and make a lot of fucking money.
Have you made any wrestling themed beers?
We did a Tony D 123, which was named after yours truly. Then we currently have Seattle Miedo on tap, which is No Fear by a fucking Penta. Usi, obviously Oos. we had so last year for the WrestleMania weekend we had Finish the Story by Cody Rhodes, and we did what the fuck was her name? They had a wrestling show in Philadelphia. I asked them if we could do beer there, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. I sold $6,000 worth of beer in like fucking 2 hours. If I could do that every weekend, dude, I'd be rich. I wouldn't work, but dude, we fucking killed it. Because we'd walk up because like they other places was selling the Stone Cold beer, and I'd be like, I told my friends like, yo, I'm gonna fucking do like some guerrilla warfare here. So I walked up and I walked by somebody had the Stone Cold beer, like, what'd you pay for that? And they go, dude, fucking $12. I go, you see this beer? $6. It's like, where? Point him down there, dude. I never sold beer so fucking quick in my life. I loved it. Like if I could do that every day, I'd be a millionaire.
You're out there selling your ass off. Good stuff,
dude. It was great. I didn't think I was gonna sell shit, but we sold a killing. We literally brought every case we had of that beer, and we sold all of them out.
Have you made any sours?
We do a lot of sours, but I kind of stay away from them because they're dog shit. I hate sours.
Not next question then. All right.
They fuck with my stomach.
Gotcha.
I know they do well, but they're not for me.
Now, since you have kids, do you have any options outside of alcohol, maybe your own brand of soda down the road?
So ever since I lost my taste buds in 2020, right before I had my son, I can't taste soda.
Bro, I was going to ask you about that. So
like,
you're still knocked out.
No, like, dude, like literally soda. Like I miss a Pepsi. I genuinely miss a Pepsi. I can't taste it.
Wow.
I hate it, dude.
What about your sense of smell? Did that come back?
None of it's there.
So you can still just smell like changes in the air. You can't really smell like,
yep. I like if my wife farted in my face, I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
I not like I want to have my wife fart in my face, but
Right.
I genuinely miss a fucking Pepsi, dude.
Yeah.
I literally was saying it yesterday. I think to somebody's like, "Yo, I fucking miss a Pepsi." Like just a cold, crisp Pepsi.
Hmm.
None of that shit does
Unbelievable.
anything for me anymore. I hate it so much.
And you're going on like what, 3 years now of that problem?
5.
Oh shit.
My son's gonna be 5, and that's when I lost everything. October of
Man.
2020, because we did the GCW collective that weekend. I lost everything.
Man. Oh, I was going to tell you too. Have you ever made mead? My son actually makes mead. It's super easy.
Yeah, but it's great. It's expensive though.
Yeah, that was the only thing, like with the cost of honey going up and everything. But yeah, he made one with like a honeysuckle tea and cherries.
That sounds
And
great.
yeah, it was just badass. So
I love mead. It's just expensive and high UV.
that's the other thing too. Like you
Only
feel
like
like you're
14
drinking wine.
fucking percent. Yes. Like during COVID, I bought some mead and I like bought 2 fucking massive bottles. And I would do like a 4-ounce pour every night before, like, because you know even shit do during COVID, so I just drink, and I would just sip mead all night.
So then, I mean, are you still trying to hit some microbreweries or anything when you go do wrestling shows anywhere, or is
Oh,
it pretty much?
absolutely. I don't
Yeah.
stop. Like
We haven't
I
seen.
genuinely love going to breweries. So
Well, some have a great vibe. I've noticed there's quite a few breweries. It's almost like you can tell when they were, you know, raised because you can tell by the way the decoration is in the place.
yeah,
So then is there maybe another wrestling show for you in the works through the bar?
we'll do some more.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a lot of things to come into play and make the situation easier. But like, I can't rush things.
Yeah.
Like people only realize I'm a guy that takes the shit that goes that it comes. It is like I'm not gonna rush it. If somebody says, "Hey, I want to do this," I'm not gonna be like, "Well, what about it? What about it? What about it? What about it? What about it?" I'm like, "Okay, this is what you want to do. That's what I'm gonna be." Like I realize other people have more things in their lives than what we see as.
Yeah. Um, you were talking about sports teams, Pittsburgh, you said?
Yeah,
Steelers,
Pirates.
Steelers, Pirates.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Sadly.
man. Yeah, I'm mostly a Cleveland fan. We won't talk much about that though. I know. Wait, hey, you know, we cry every fucking year though. So I mean, come
I'm
on,
a
being a
Pirates
Browns
fan.
fan
We
sucks.
cry every year too.
That's true. You know, Cleveland, we're like, you know, we were cool in the 90s. That's the way we like to talk about sports in our area.
Then y'all burn your stadium down.
Okay, I want to have some fun here. A lot of people, when they have kids, they want their kids to kind of have some of the same experiences they had when they grew up. Has there been any cartoons or toys that you felt were important to you that you also had the kids play with?
My wife and I were just talking about this today. I want my children nothing to do with wrestling because it's a terrible industry. I don't want my children to deal with it. I don't want my children to deal with the psychological shit because it's a shitty industry. It's simple as that. Like I would like my children to experience what I experienced. Like I've been very fortunate and blessed to travel the world. Like I get that. But also in the same sense, if they don't want that, I'm never going to stress it towards them. I want my
Yeah.
children to be their own people, be individuals. Like as I grew up, like my parents hated music. My parents were not wrestling fans. Well, guess what? I love music and I love wrestling. Let my children develop their own personalities.
That's very smart. Wow. A lot of people wouldn't say that either.
Yeah, because everybody wants their own fucking kids to live their goddamn fucking lives vicariously through them.
Right.
Your kids are not you. Let your kids be them. Shut the fuck up. Like,
So,
I'm sorry
so I was just,
you sucked at fucking sports. Let your kids be them. My kids are going to be their own people. If my kids are meant to be good at sports, they're going to be good at sports. Because my wife, her great uncle is a baseball Hall of fucking Famer. So if
hell
we're
yeah.
supposed to have a good fucking baseball player in our lives, it's meant to be.
There you go.
All right, pick up that name you're about to drop. What's the name?
Stanley Kovaleski. He was put in the 1964 Hall of Fame, won the World Series in 1919. He was the last person to be grandfather in the spitball era.
No kidding.
Awesome.
Yep.
Huh. I'm going to stay with childhood for a minute because these are always fun questions. We're kind of in the extra stages here.
That's
What video
fine.
games did you dominate, Tony?
Ocarina of Time by Zelda.
Oh shit, N64 man, huh?
That's one of my favorite games of all time.
It was badass.
Like,
Did you ever play any of those WCW games?
Oh yeah, I played all those games, but
Yeah.
like Ocarina, because like my oldest, one of my brothers, I'm 37. My brother's 39. My other brother's 41. So I saw all those video games, but like Ocarina of Time was always my jam, always.
The music was good. It had a nice atmosphere to it. Like you could sink into it mentally.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've always just like gravitated towards it. I loved it. Always my shit.
Now, what music was young Tony listening to?
So my mom was a big Meatloaf and Lone Star fan, so that was what I did listen to because that's what mom listens to. You can't
Yeah.
really have any I can't fucking during those time I couldn't put an iPod on. But then over the times I went to the beach with my friend and he played Anti-Flag, and that like really perpetuated me into the punk world. And I was like, oh, this shit rules. Like the anger and the angst, like I loved it. I still do.
I was wondering if you had an influence on the punk side anywhere.
A lot of my personality comes from it.
Yeah. Now this is another one here I'm kind of curious about. What was your favorite cartoon growing up?
Rocko's Modern Life.
As a Nickelodeon kid.
Yeah. That or The Critic with John Lovitz.
Oh wow. From what channel was that? Comedy Central?
Comedy Central, yeah.
Damn, man. What toys?
That like Duckman and shit like that.
All right,
that was
so
ahead
hold
of
on,
its
John,
time. No, go ahead. I was just saying it was ahead of its time.
I was gonna cut you off on the toys, so like that's gonna lead us to Freaked. So Tony, NLA, you suggested that I watched the movie Freaked. Me and my wife watched it last night. So, do you want to give the synopsis of Freaked, please, to everybody?
So there are a couple normal people that go on the island and they have Zygote 23 that gets them mutated into freaks because they stop into a freak land. And Randy Quaid is the freak master. It's weird. It's been a movie that I've been watching for, I think him at 95?
93.
93? Yeah, like, and my brother and I just watched it because it used to come on like USA all the time. Then my brother bought it for me on DVD.
All right, so there's 3 things I got to talk to you about. The Bobcat heel turn.
Bobcat, what?
When he does his little heel turn when they take the sock off his hand, and he's at first like everyone's all sympathetic, and then he starts flipping everyone off and does a heel turn. That moment was hysterical. Gumby is ruined for me forever now because of that movie and that half a second that Gumby was in that movie. And then the wrench turning into the hammer, I thought was the funniest part of the whole movie.
It's such a fucking fantastic movie. Like, my 23rd birthday, so it was a week before Zach broke my arm. My wife ran out of movie theater and she got them to play Freaked for me. So
That is cool.
yeah, and then
And
she
the
gave me a
Right.
blowjob during that time too. So I got my dick sucked during Freaked in the movie theater because we were the only people in it. So
She's
that was
definitely
cool.
asleep. Yeah, she is definitely asleep over there now.
Yeah, she's just like, she was like, cool, why not? Like, so TMI people in the GCW world, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
I was
It's
gonna
like,
say it all became because like the merch. I tried buying a piece of merch from you, and I had to had to explain to me where it came from, and that was a fun conversation to have.
well, it's
back
also a
then.
great fucking movie. It's like one of my favorite movies. They're
Are
coming
you
the 5K or 4K anniversary.
binging anything right now on Netflix or YouTube?
Cheers.
Oh, no shit. I want to go
My
back
wife and I
through
have,
that.
so I've always been a Cheers fan, and then my wife, like, I told her premises, she's like, that sounds stupid as fuck. And then one day she walked out and she saw me watching. She's like, this seems funny. What is it? She's like, it's Cheers. And then
Yeah.
now we're watching all of it. And then recently George Wendt died last week, and she's like, oh, she's like, George Wendt, Norm's the greatest.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I watched that show because my mom watched that show, and of course, you're watching whatever your parents had on TV growing up.
I've always
So
just enjoyed. Like, even prior to being like, I've been with my wife for 11 years, and prior to that, I owned every DVD of Cheers on DVD. Like, yeah, it was never like that was always my thing. Like,
you want to know
I guess
something funny?
what?
That first episode, I felt like it wasn't super funny like all the
No,
other ones. It was very introductory.
yeah, like, well, like I always tell people, like the biggest thing about like any type of shows now, it was always like it was always character driven. Like every show is character driven. Now it's concept driven. So it makes everything not as enjoyable. Like everything was like a character driven thing. It was like, okay, like you had Norm, you had Cliff, you had Sam, you had, Rebecca, you had Diane, you had like multiple characters in one thing. But now it's all concept driven, where it's just like, no, this is the entire thing we got to talk about. Never about like everybody else horse. And that's what made those 80s and 90s shows so good, is because it was all character driven.
Yes.
Especially with movies. All the movies were character driven. Like, people can argue with me. I don't really care because I don't care about their opinions. But that's my opinion. Like, it was super character driven during those times. Now it is a concept driven part of the media. And that's what kills it.
All right. So then the next question I'll ask is I thought I saw some before. Do you have any pets? I thought you had at least a dog and a cat a while back.
So I have my little buddy. That's Achilles. And then Bailey's right there. My beautiful cat, she passed away in January.
Sorry to hear that.
So she was my hairless little cat, which sucks. My daughter, like my wife's allergic to regular cats, so we can't have cats. So my daughter hated about everything. She's like, "Where's my Drewby?" And we couldn't do that, like, cause like it was the night after Hammerstein. So, which like that was a terrible fucking week because like, my wife's car got totaled that Thursday, and then that Friday, I got pulled over because I forgot to renew my registration because we were just working on my car for the longest time. And then that Saturday, her grandfather, who is her best friend, passed away on that Saturday. And then she's just like, well, you got to fucking go do Hammerstein. So I went, like, and that's the other thing you realize wrestling, like, when terrible things happen in your family, like, you got to kind of, like, put, like, what's the bigger perspective. And she's just like, well, just go, do this, whatever, 'cause she was going to come to Hammerstein with me. And we couldn't because her grandfather passed away. I did that. And I was at Casanova's No Ring show. And she texted me. She's like, Drusilla, or Drewby, who is our cat. She's like, she's dead. She's like, I came out of the bathroom and she's like, had vomit in her mouth. And she like just passed away. Because like, I feel like it was an aneurysm in her head. But, it still sucked. But yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, we had a shitty week leading up Hammerstein.
Man, oh man. Well,
Yeah.
okay, we'll switch out of that. Do you collect anything? I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be, too much down for you.
No, it's
Do you
okay.
collect anything?
Vinyl,
Oh, no shit.
wrestling memorabilia in general. Like those are my two
So
big things.
sometimes I do show and tell. Is there anything that you have nearby there you want to show anybody?
All my vinyl is shit upstairs. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
my biggest rule of thumb going towards anything is there's a band I really like called Spanish Love Songs, and they had a first pressing of their first or second or third album. And the major company they put out with, they're like, oh, we're doing one of 150 of the album releases. And I got one of those ones. It's pretty expensive when I got it for vinyl, but my wife's like, either stop bitching that you want it or fucking buy it. so but I bought that. But I like that. Yeah, I don't really collect much. I literally try to do a lot for my kids. To be honest, that's my major focus on life. Like
Well, the
I'd
beer
much rather do for shit with my kids.
the beer thing, that's like a craft, a skill. Do you have any other crafts or skills that you like to do on the side?
I feel like that was always the biggest thing in wrestling that I was never able to focus on. Like I always just jumped. Like I gotta wrestle. 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 I never focused on any outside interference of enjoyment. I always kind of like, oh no, I gotta do this because this might perpetuate my emotion of wrestling. This. Like
Yeah.
I always just was like, I negated my own personal enjoyments, and now I'm playing music. I'm playing music way more now. I'm listening to records more and just enjoying like music as well. I'm just I like at this point, like, because I know where wrestling might be going. I just want to enjoy more outside of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I like wrestling, but also like if it ain't bringing me any joy, why should I do it? Like maybe in
Those
5 years from now,
crossroads.
it'll bring me joy again. But like right now, it's just not. It's simple as that. Like I'm not trying to lie to people. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
straightforward. Like just there's not as much enjoyment. Like my body hurts really bad. Like, and I'm worried that I can't do shit for my kids. And it's simple as that. That's what it comes down to. I can't do shit for my kids. My body hurts. I'm fucked up.
But you're taking action on those things, which is about the best you can do at this time. I look at it that way.
Yeah.
You're taking those steps. I mean, you're not out there 14 nights anymore. So now that's what? I don't know how many nights now that you're home with your children to tell them good night. That's a big thing. That's
Yeah.
huge.
I remember coming home from a tour in Europe, and I walked through my door, and I walked through my door. My son's sitting here. Like I vividly remember this. It's what pisses me off in the morning. Walked through the door. My son's sitting on the couch. I go, "Hey, buddy, how are you doing?" And he looks at me, turns right around, and starts eating popcorn again.
Oh, hell no.
And I was like, "Okay."
Shit's got to change. Yeah.
I was like, "That fucked up." Like, because like my father was never there relevantly in my life, so like I wanted to always make sure that I was there for my kids. But like I wasn't able to do that with wrestling, you know. I genuinely love where it's taking me. I genuinely loved what I've been able to do. I love the people I met. But also in the same sense, like maybe I'm at the run of the mill.
Well, priorities change too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be living the life of a 30-some-year-old man in a locker room with 19-year-old kids, and you know what I mean?
Dude, I'm fucking
Two
older
different.
than 20. I'm 37 and being one of the 30 like these 22-year-old kids.
I tried to cut you a break on age.
Like that's I'm like, oh my god, like it's like I'm fucking 22. Like, dude, I'm fucking 37.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. Like I graduated when you were 7.
Yeah, like I could be your dad.
Yeah. Worst shoot job you've ever had?
So I worked a job where I was a legal courier, and I worked it for 3 days.
Wow.
And the guy was a fucking complete douchebag. And he like I got like the first 2 days I worked there, the guy's like the guy that was training was like, yo, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, don't fucking trust him. Like just tell me this guy's a piece of shit. So, did my shit, and then a couple days like the guy's like, hey, he's literally going to make sure you never get the chance to, because like my entire purpose of that job was like I'm gonna talk to different law offices to get myself in those deals, like because that's my profession, like legal work. That's my entire job. And he's like, I'm gonna make, like he said he's gonna make sure you don't get that. Come in, and the guy like, can I talk to you? And I was like, we're gonna have you not do this. I go, doesn't make much sense to me. And he's like, well, with this, I was like, well, you know what? I really don't think that's good enough. So I took my shirt off and threw it. The guy's like, fuck you, I'm out of here. Like, so I was like 3 days in that job. Like, just because, like, this guy was just being a dick to me. Like, I ain't taking shit from anybody. And, like, I've been that way since I was a wee lad. And I am not fucking starting today. So I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, you're an asshole. I'm done. So I left a legal courier job, and now I work for the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, which everybody fucking loves me.
I was going to say, ever since you've gotten that, you've been, pretty happy with everything that you've gotten from there. At least you've shown online that you're, what you've done, you're pretty happy with.
I hate a lot of the people I work with because they're drama queens. But the people I work for, like those people, they think like they're like, Tony, like dude, you fuck, dude. Like you don't care. Like they like me for that reason. Like we don't care about like anything other than the fact that you just want to like get your shit done. So like they're trying to get me like a substantial raise and make me more money just because like they like me enough, which is nice. So
sounds like a terrible problem to have, Tony.
yeah, I know. A nice couple of dollars is never a terrible thing to have, but
yeah,
they asked me for that, and I was like, okay, cool, but I wanted to keep wrestling, but then things just never really laid in my lap the way they wanted to be, and I was like, you know what? I guess that's the way the world wanted me to be.
Well, that's the
So
thing.
how can I
roll with it.
Like, yeah, you roll with the punches. How can like what can I do?
Yeah.
It's fairly simple. Like, would I love to go to Japan with GCW? Absolutely, because I never was able to go there on somebody else's accord. Like I paid for my own way to go to there. Like when GCW wasn't anyone, I paid for my way to go there. Like, because I messaged Brett, is like, hey, like, because I worked a job where I made decent money. I'll pay for my way to go there. He's like, Tony, if you can get there, you got a spot. And I was like, fucking sweet, dude, let's go. Like, but I never got that rub where we're like, oh well, cool, let's go, Tony. We'll give you a shot there. Like, yeah, he paid for my room there and my visa, but You got to really take for what it is, what it at. You know, he paid for that, but also I'd be like, oh, it'd have been nice. I'm not discrediting him, but also I'm like, oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah. I'm going to get 2 more questions in here with you, Tony. I don't want to take too much more of your time. I just realized we're 2 hours and 15 in with you here. So I'm also realizing the East Coast, it is not early. Okay.
I
We'll make
work
it
from
quick for
home.
you
I
then.
don't care.
Oh, you're good then. In your travels around the world, have you fallen in love with any area of the country that you would consider maybe moving if you had to choose another place? It's not an easy one.
Oh. It's weird because like I wouldn't consider because like GCW's never really traveled there, but Pittsburgh.
Really?
I love Pittsburgh so much. I love that city so much.
Huh. No kidding.
I fucking love it.
They've cleaned that city up a lot too in this last decade. A lot.
I love it. And I've loved it for 20 years. I love it.
So is
I
that
was
ever an option down the road, maybe?
so my wife's way more intelligent and successful and beautiful and everything other than I am not. And I wanted her to, I was like, when we graduated out of college, like she got a offer from Heinz College or Heinz Ketchup. And I was like, yo, you should fucking take it. I was like, let's
Yeah.
move there, please. Let's move to fucking Pittsburgh. And she's like, I don't know. And we ended up moving to fucking Harrisburg. But she's still smart and beautiful and awesome. She's sleeping right now. She's sleeping like Al Bundy right now with her hands down her pants, but probably let her sleep on the couch.
I'll have one more question and I'm going to hand it over to Brent because I know there's some fans that had some questions and then I'm going to go from there. Okay, this is my last one right here, Tony, because I always love to ask this one. Do you have any weird ghost stories or spooky stories that have happened to you over your life?
This has had to go back 23 years ago. We were in a skate. My buddies and I were like, we're hardcore skaters, and we went to this old slaughterhouse, and we had a video camera and walking through it, and all of a sudden we saw like a handprint. Like if you scroll the video down, you saw a handprint gently lie his fingers, like not hand, but his fingertips along my other friend. Like you saw fingertips just like caress his arm.
Oh no.
And then he freaked the fuck out like it was like a gentle lay. He's like freaked the fuck out. Like that was 04, 03. Old butcher plant in Third
Mm.
I think
Was this on any type of video or were you guys just screwing around in there?
we had the video. We had the video somewhere. We used to record all of our shit back in those days.
Did you
It was
go like
somewhere.
you were hunting and like would you go
We
ghost
just
hunting and record it?
we were just walking around for the sake of it. We used to walk. Like where we're from, we didn't have shit to do. We would just walk around.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
There
I
was
had a town
there
of
was
less than 2,000 people, dude.
nothing else to do. We just walk around, fuck around. Like we used to have a thing we called Anarchy Friday, and we just smash shit because we had nothing better to do.
I grew up in a shitty old town and there's less than 2,000 people. So I know what you're talking about when it was just walking around. There was nothing else to do.
Simple as that for us.
What do you say, B? Do you have any fan questions there that you'd like to pass by?
Yes, I first one. Any stories behind the 2 hour Iron Man match?
The ref and Jordan were what's that drug that Adderall. Yeah, they did some Adderall. I don't do drugs minus drinking. So I was like, wow, what the fuck is that? And they're like, we're going to do this. Let's get us through what we had to do. And Jordan and I were like really terrified of not getting through that match. Because like during COVID, we didn't really have the time to get into that ring shape. And we just kept wrestling around. Then like we did the final sequence to go home. And like we both started crying. We're like, oh my God, I can't believe I got through that. Like, holy shit. Because I got messaged like a month prior to that, and Brett goes, Tony, can you fucking make a match longer than that? Because I was the longevity guy. I've always been that guy. Always been guys like, you've got the fucking girth, bro. Go for it. And Brett goes like, you got it? I think I could do it. So I made sure I did it for Brett and GCW.
All right. Reed Harris Cooper asks your favorite craft beers.
Whew, that's difficult, dude. I'll drink everything. I like a lot of Pilsners, lagers. It's hard to say my favorite craft one because it's very difficult. I would probably just always go with Yin and Lager because I can fuck with it.
All right. James Nader asks, would you ever consider a babyface run? Fans would love to cheer for you.
They cheer for me, but honestly, when they cheer for me, it doesn't really resonate towards sales with GCW. So why bother?
So does this mean you will continue to throw fans hats?
Oh, I'll be a dick no matter what. Like nothing's gonna stop me from being a dickhead. It's simple as that.
Jim asks, been following GCW for about a year. He lives just outside of Philly, going to shows in that area. I think the only show we went to Tony didn't wrestle on was Fight Club 2024. Going to miss Tony. And then James Nader says Tony recently in a match with Tyler Franks, the fans were not receptive to your opponent. What do you do in a match in that case?
Well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, I'm giving the guy that I was supposed to be giving. If somebody doesn't care about them or the fans don't care about them, what the fuck am I supposed to do? That's not on me. I was told by GCW, like, this is the guy you wrestle. This is the guy you do this. What the fuck did anybody want from me? Like, I can't do anything. If nobody cares, why? Like, how could I let them care? Like, it's simple as that. Like, I've had guys that I've wrestled that are no namers that people cared. I have people that nobody cares about. Like, it's simple as that. And that's what a lot of the people say. Well, okay, Tony, you're the gatekeeper. Nobody cares about these guys. So if nobody cares from the get-go, well, guess what? Then you don't deserve to be there. I don't care.
So that was the last one. Oh, I guess not. Reed
Tony
Harris
mentioned-
Cooper says, there we go.
Tony mentioned going back to doing music. Any concepts of pursuing it down the road?
So my friends and I have always been talking about putting out music again, like being in a band and like just like even since cover bands. I just want to play music again and just I've foregoed a lot of my own enjoyments because of wrestling, and if I could enjoy different perspectives of my life through that stuff, then I'll gladly accept it. Because I like music. I love playing music. It's fun as fuck. So
That's what's up. Hell yeah. Was there any other questions, B?
Nope, that was it.
Alrighty. Well then, stick with us after we go off air here in a second, Tony. By any chance, do you want to just plug any socials or share where your merch is available or anything?
no, I don't do merch because I fucking hate it. I know Matt Cardone will fucking hate me too because You don't fucking sell merchandise. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to watch the goddamn wrestling matches and enjoy my friends enjoying themselves and making good fucking matches. I don't care. Never give a fuck. Never will give a fuck. And if that makes me in trouble wrestling, I don't care. So,
Favorite song to play on bass before we leave?
Chick Magnet by MXPX.
You heard it here. All right, Tony, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight. This was an extensive interview that went late into the night. I appreciate you so much, man.
Yes, thank you so much, Tony. And I think we will save the last fan question for right now, John, at the end of the show. I think out of respect for Tony, we got to throw our own damn hats before he gets a chance to.
Tony, we love you, brother. All right. Yeah, let's close this bad boy out. Tony, stick with us. We'll say goodbye and we'll see you on the other side here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And long live.
Oh, that was too good. Live
GCW.
Got it.
Thank you,
Good night,
Tony.
y'all.